है, लेकिन आपके पास तो उस वक्त चुनाव प्रचार अभियान के दौरान कल्पना सोरेन जैसी महिला नेता का अभाव।
Back live, and in about 32 minutes the counting gets underway. The counting centers will open. The numbers here on your screen are not going to be running away, ladies and gentlemen. The numbers here are going to follow the leads as they come from our counting centers. 310 counting centers, 310 reporters. It's the live result hub. We'll take you there. We'll take you there and we'll tell you why to trust the numbers here on CNN News 18. But first, let's go to our reporters on ground who've been tirelessly covering the elections. They've traversed the length and breadth of Maharashtra. Payal Mehta is live from the BJP office in Mumbai. Yesha Kotak is live from Thane, and also Mayuresh Ganpate live outside Matoshri, the Thakre residence. We should have Arun also live, joining us live in a bit. But Payal, let's start with you. What are the rumblings? What are the conversations as the dust settles on 66% plus voter turnout?
Well, of course, it's an early start at the BJP headquarters, unlike the headquarters in Delhi, where it's already buzzing with activity over here. The leaders over here are going to be following the result pretty much from their home before they come to the party office at around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning is what we were given to understand. But Devendra Fadnavis, the key man as far as the BJP's fortunes are concerned, Anand, is currently in his official residence in Mumbai. He'll only go to his constituency Nagpur in the evening to collect his certificate, because there is no doubt in anybody's mind that he's going to emerge victorious. But the BJP is extremely hopeful that the extra percentage in terms of the voting percentages come from the women is going to come for them. That's what at least what the Mahayuth is certainly hoping. They've said that they've done their hard work. They've tried to kill all the narrative that the opposition was falsely trying to peddle amongst people as well. And they're extremely confident. So I was speaking to people and I just heard, you guys discuss this in the studio.
Yeah.
But the biggest confidence the BJP has is probably to revive their fortunes in Vidarbha, and they're extremely sure that they'll come back to the result that they got in 2014, where they got about 44 seats out of 62 seats as well. Too early in the day, we'll keep you updated, but let's wait and watch. There's a lot to lose as far as Eknath Shinde is concerned, as far as Devendra Fadnavis and of course Ajit Pawar is concerned. So let's wait and see how the day really pans out, but it's early scenes over here at the BJP headquarters.
Okay, let me quickly ask you before we bring in Yesha and Mayuresh, is the BJP confident that BJP plus Eknath Shinde will be 145 plus? If they get 44 in Vidarbha, Payal.
BJP, we speak about the numbers. Anand, I've been speaking not just to the BJP leaders, but also to the booth karyakartas, also to the workers who are working behind the scenes. They are at least all saying that we're going to get 170 plus. We don't know whether the numbers will really hold true, but their numbers came in even before the Axis, my India poll we saw, and we saw similar numbers as well. They're extremely confident. They feel that the work that has required to be done has been done. The narrative that was supposed to be, dispelled has been dispelled. And of course, a good governance, a focus on development, taking Maharashtra and Mumbai forward, the double engine growth. These are some of the issues that have actually worked for them as well. In a bit from now, we'll be able to even tell our viewers what really works for them, what really doesn't work for them. अभी तो फिलहाल आनंद यहाँ पे हेडक्वार्टर्स के बाहर झाड़ू लग रही है, देखते हैं कि किसके अरमानों पे झाड़ू लगती है.
That was a good one, Payal. Punchline आज Payal का आ गया सुबह सुबह. But Yesha Kotak 95, 55, 25. That was Rohit Chandravarkar said that this is the Eknath Shinde calculation, or even before Axis My India put out the numbers. It was live here on our on News 18 that it happened. But if it is 55 for Eknath Shinde, then Thane does not even become the new center. It means that Eknath Shinde has established that hard work has paid off and the Shiv Sena legacy firmly sits with him then. There's a lot at stake.
Absolutely, Anand. In fact, on having spoken to us before the elections, Chief Minister was very confident about how there's no match. In fact, also during the election day, when we were speaking to several voters, you also heard them saying that Eknath Shinde has done good work, particularly with the Lati Bhain that was standing in the queue. So here, of course, I mean, when you speak of 95, as of now, several BJP leaders whom we spoken to, they are confident of 120 plus, and which is where then 144 is not a difficult number for the Mahayuti for that matter. But yes, when you speak of the whole Maratha votes, in fact, even before this, the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction has said that in the Lok Sabha elections, of course, that was the first time we saw the undivided, that we saw the Shiv Sena being divided, and which is where at that time the Shiv Sena has claimed that they got that Maratha vote. They had a they had a voter share margin bigger than that of the Shiv Sena UBT. In fact, when you speak of the 6 seats of Mumbai, of course, it was Shiv Sena UBT which got 3 seats and only 1 seat went to the Eknath Shinde faction, that too with a small margin of 47 votes at last minute. But when you speak of Eknath Shinde, he's always been confident, saying that it is not a big deal for him to get that kind of a support from people, because he believes that the Maratha voters are still with him. And of course, him being a Maratha face, he went and we've also seen about how he went and spoke to the Maratha agitators and promised them, and also got the whole Maratha bill presented in the Vidhan Sabha.
First big Vidhan Sabha election that you have covered quite a lot. You've travelled. Maza aaya ki nahi aaya?
Oh, Anand, it's been one amazing experience going the lengths and breadths of the state. Of course, meeting a lot of people and meeting a lot of these leaders. All of them have had that confidence. If you speak right from Mahavikas Aghadi leaders to the Mahayuti leaders, all of them had that confidence. But what in fact took me by surprise was that last confidence by Ajit Pawar just 3 or 4 days before Maharashtra could go in for polls, saying that it will be Latki Bahin which will be the game changer. A person who has had 35 plus years of experience only at Baramati, exuding that kind of a confidence, in fact speaks something because of the travel that he did across the entire state in that last 15 days.
Right. So
yes,
if
Anand.
somebody who understands Maharashtra has told you that, then you have to take that seriously. Mumbai, Thane, Matoshri. Arun Dhanta के यहाँ कुछ बन रहा है, उसकी नज़र कहीं पे है, मैं बताता हूँ क्या बन रहा है. But first we'll speak to Mayuresh. Mayuresh, Matoshri, a lot is going to happen here. There are talks that Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray or that Uddhav Thackeray is ready to walk out of MVA and go back into NDA if the results are not good. If the legacy battle is lost, there is a lot at stake, because then they cease to be relevant at all in Maharashtra. It could be a big setback. There's a lot at stake for Uddhav Thackeray and Aditya Thackeray. The Worli fight with Milind Deora on the one hand, notwithstanding.
Absolutely, Anand, and it is a battle of prestige for Uddhav Thackeray, because, as you said, yes, it's a battle of prestige. It's a matter of issue. It's a matter of prestige for them also, because this particular election will decide that which Shiv Sena is a real Shiv Sena in terms of people's support. Because forget about the code battle, forget about the symbol, forget about everything. But whom people really support, that this particular election will decide. And that's why if you see that after the Lok Sabha election, Uddhav Thackeray had continuously done the tour of Maharashtra. He was reaching out to the people, and even on the day of a polling also we saw that he was going to each and every shakha in every ward, and he was getting the inputs directly from the shakha pramukhs that what is happening in their ward and what is the situation there. So, but having said this, I just want to show our viewers that what is the scenario outside Matoshri. We are standing outside Matoshri. You can see that the security has been already beefed up. You can see the security personnel, the Mumbai police personnel are already here in this area, because they are anticipating once the result starts coming, once the Shiv Sena candidates whoever will win from Mumbai, they will start coming over here to meet Uddhav Thackeray. And also we have been given to understand by the Shiv Sena sources that if the numbers are really good or in favor of Mahavikas Aghadi, then certainly the hectic parleys will start today itself. The Congress leaders are already in Mumbai. They will start coming to meet Uddhav Thackeray, and the hectic parleys will start. So certainly it would be interesting to see
But
that
Mayuresh,
what
10 साल
numbers
में बहुत
basically
बदल गया ना
come. Because
मातोश्री
if you
में.
remember, yeah.
10 साल में बहुत बदल गया. 10 साल पहले मातोश्री में
बदल गया,
यहाँ पे
बहुत-
भीड़ होती थी. 7 बजे से भीड़ होती थी. आपको खड़े होने की जगह नहीं होती थी. पुलिस का बंदोबस्त और स्ट्रांग होता था. आज वो सब नहीं दिख रहा है.
Exactly what you're saying. It's exactly because the way things have gone, or the things have happened in last 2.5 years. But Anand, I was telling that yes, the Congress leaders are in Mumbai, and there are chances that because the Mahavikas Aghadi is of the opinion that they will get somewhere around 160 to 170 seats. Okay. And I don't know from where they are getting this kind of confidence when the exit polls are basically showing some different numbers, and Mahavikas Aghadi is completely denying the exit polls. But yes, if they are true, if they are confident, then certainly the hectic parleys will start after 11:30 when the initial
who has
leads
the
will
critical
start.
numbers
Leads
that
will
will
come.
make or break the Sarkar. If Ajit Pawar has got those 25 seats that will make or break Mahayuti, and if Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray's Shiv Sena has got those 20-25 seats that will make or break the Mahavikas Aghadi, that's when the whole fun will start. As far as resort politics, chartered planes, and everybody going here and there, and parleys that begin, and suddenly the narrative would also perhaps shift. But we'll have to wait and watch, because even reporters, seasoned journalists are not trying to give the MVA the kind of numbers that they are hoping to get. But quickly from Mumbai going to Delhi, Arun Dhanta, खुशबू अच्छी आ रही है, क्या बन रहा है वहाँ?
Well, that's right, Anand. There is a change in the menu this time around at BJP office early in the morning. Last time, of course, during the Haryana elections, we saw that how jalebi has become a topic of huge discussion. It was Congress party first who ordered that jalebi in the Congress office. Then later on, when victory was actually on the sides of BJP, then they ordered that 100 kg of jalebi for everybody in the BJP office. But today, you see, early in the morning, these people are preparing jalebis here, and this has been a change. This has been a change because I have never seen jalebis being prepared early in the morning at BJP headquarters. So I think they are sending out a message through this jalebi once again that when we are preparing jalebi early in the morning, it will not be like as it happened in the case of Congress party during the. You can see these jalebis are being prepared here at BJP office at this moment. And
Saturday morning jalebi with some hot chai and fafda will be very nice in this slightly wintry mornings here in Delhi, the AQI notwithstanding. But Arun Dhanta, hope the BJP realizes last time jalebi kisne banai aur kisne khai in Haryana.
So small point, very quick.
On jalebi?
No, on Akhilesh Yadav. Akhilesh Yadav has tweeted this morning, and he's saying that look, everyone be fully alert. Okay, any things that you think, rules, and if you feel that there is any irregularity or suspicion, blow the whistle. I'm going to be there, and we are going to go and inform the Election Commission immediately. We forget that there are 36 assembly, elections spread across the country. 9 itself are in
48, total.
Okay,
48.
46, I think. So there are all of these, and there are of course 9 in Uttar Pradesh itself. I'm looking very closely at the Uttar Pradesh.
6 Bengal mein bhi hai.
6 Bengal mein hai, but who knows which way that will go, because the BJP said those are already, everyone has their grouse against the EVM and the EC, depending on which side of the fence they are in. But very importantly, look, yes, there are 2 states, and I really do feel that we should pay a little more attention to Jharkhand in our broadcast also. I know sometimes that, we sort of discount it for a variety of reasons, but I think from the point of consolidation in the Hindi belt, and in the point that you also made some days back that, that's a swath of territory then that the BJP will acquire over the last 8-10 months, which they didn't really have under their belt. It's very important that the Hindi belt remains consolidated with the BJP as they go forward, if they are to continue to dictate terms nationally and narrative-wise. So that is a very crucial state for them.
I won't be surprised, Rahul, if today the results fall in favor of the NDA, that is both Jharkhand and also Maharashtra, that someone somewhere will turn around and say, Desh ke dil mein Modi hai.
You see,
that is something which they will want to build up ahead of the winter session of Parliament.
You see, more than that, it's very important, this point that you're making. More than that, Anand, it's also about getting the right pitch. You see, if you go into a election cycle, you want to come out victorious, especially if you're the ruling government. Why? Because it gives you a certain amount of conviction. Conviction comes from winnability, comes from a feeling of being a little invincible, in sync with what the voters' aspirations are. Now, the Prime Minister has sort of recalibrated the slogan. Aman will tell you, it used to be, hum sab saath hain, vikas ho raha hai, all of this, to a certainly different kind of connotation,
Yeah. Sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka prayas has now become ek hai to safe hai.
So there's this little bit of a fear factor that if we don't stick together, something, that we don't want will happen to us. So there is this undertone which is slightly more negative than the positive.
But thing is, nothing works like fear.
That's
a reality.
It's unfortunate.
Just quickly going across to the Congress office. Sharon is joining us. I'm going to request the team to see if we can get someone from News 18 Bihar, Jharkhand or News 18 India from Jharkhand and see what's the situation in the Congress and Jharkhand offices and BJP offices in Jharkhand. We'll try and get that done. But Sharon, what's happening behind you at the AICC? Last time around there was dhol for Haryana and a lot of people around. Festivities had begun. This time what's happening?
It's dust.
Good morning, Anand. There is complete silence. Like you mentioned, during the Haryana Assembly election, there were, of course, a lot of celebration outside as well as inside the Congress headquarters. But it seems that the leadership has told the Congress worker, Jagdish Sharma, who usually brings in a lot of crowd with banners and always blames the EVM, and then, you know, he distributes sweets and then he runs off when Congress party loses a certain state. So this time, it seems a message has been sent that there should not be any sort of pre-celebration. But of course, you know, there is a lot of pressure on Congress. Last evening, there was a very senior leader who was present here. He said there was, of course, a lot of negotiation that happened when the seat sharing was being discussed. And the larger chunk has gone to the Congress party, around more than 100. So there is, of course, a lot of pressure for them to prove that they are going to bring the seats. Apart from that, they also, you know, the senior leader also said that we do understand that the statement by Kharge, Mallikarjun Kharge, saying that the poll promises are not being met in certain states has actually done a lot of damage. The BJP has picked up this narrative. They have been saying that the poll promises, of course, being made by the Congress party. There is a counter for the Ladki Behan Yojana, but how much will actually be done on ground? That narrative by the BJP is going to damage somewhere the Congress party. But there is, of course, a lot of confidence also. At the same time, there is observers. 3 each observers have in fact been appointed for Jharkhand as well as Maharashtra. Right. And immediately they come into effect the moment the numbers come in. They will, of course, see what can be done, because right now they are in talks, in Maharashtra specifically, are in talks with the smaller parties and independent candidates.
So will they have to cobble up those numbers to try and make the numbers? Everybody is preparing for all eventualities. देखिए हमारे जासूस सब जगह फैले, in the sense reporters. That's what we're saying. Not just the 310 counting centers, but this is Arunima joining us live from Ranchi. So let's try and ask her, what's the mood in Ranchi, in Jharkhand? Because some koi bole Jharkhand is retaining, there is pro-incumbency there. Somebody is saying no, the BJP will rest it or the NDA will rest it. There is anti-incumbency there. The morning of counting day, just about 15 minutes before counting gets underway, what's the situation? What's the pulse, Arunima? Good morning.
Morning. So we're coming to you live from the Pandra counting center, and you can hear announcements behind me where the tables are being set up, and all the workers from the JMM, from the BJP, from the other parties, it's being announced that they should take their position so that the counting process can begin. In some seats, there are about 13 rounds of counting. Some have 27. So it could be a long drawn day as well. But just to give you some perspective of history, while both sides, both JMM and the Bharatiya Janata Party are claiming that they will be 50 plus in this particular Vidhan Sabha, history seems to suggest that no political party in this state, ever since it was created, has managed to cross the halfway mark on its own. The highest was for the Bharatiya Janata Party when Raghuvar Das became the chief minister. That's when they got 37, but even then they had to come into an alliance to form the government. Also, another interesting anecdote from history is that no chief minister has managed to complete the full term. Hemant Soren, his alliance managed, but he had to, because he was jailed, he had to resign, and Champai Soren was brought in. So it's a very interesting history that Jharkhand has. Today they are hoping, both sides are hoping, that history will be rewritten. The Maiya Samman Yojana for the JMM and Kalpana Soren's campaign, these two are their trump cards. So the 4% extra women voters who have come out, JMM-led alliance feels that those votes are for them and their women-centric policies. Bharatiya Janata Party say women have always been pro Prime Minister's image. So if they have come out and voted in large number, it just shows that Bharatiya Janata Party-led alliance's narrative about Bangladeshi immigrants, Roti, Beti, Mati, that narrative has stuck. In about 10 minutes, counting begins. We'll know which narrative finally found resonance with the voters.
सुबह की चाय पे क्या चर्चा थी? What was the chatter among the people, the common folk, those people who may have voted, may not have voted in Jharkhand? Jharkhand has seen unprecedented voter turnout also, very high record numbers, which Hemant Soren was very happy about.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, Jharkhand voting turnout has been huge, especially rural Jharkhand has broken all records this time around. Here in Ranchi, urban apathy is something I think election commissioners have spoken about. In Ranchi, Jamshedpur, Dhanbad, the urban belts have seen the voters turnout relatively less than rural Jharkhand. Again, to give you the perspective from the two sides, supporters of the Bharatiya Janata Party outside the party office in Hurmu, they were all sitting at a tea stall and they declared that at worst their party will get 43 seats. Similarly, outside Hemant Soren's residence, there was a group whom we encountered who said that he was wrongly targeted because he was a tribal chief minister. And especially, there's a lot of curiosity around Kalpana Soren. She is a woman leader of Jharkhand. Jharkhand has not really seen a woman politician hit the street since its inception. So Kalpana Soren's, foray has created a lot of curiosity. Whether that translates into votes and seats, one will have to wait and see what the counting centre declares.
Well, thanks to that, Arunima, the Adivasi Asmita, will that come into play is a big question. BJP ने आदिवासी चीफ मिनिस्टर नहीं बनाया और जब आदिवासी सीएम बनाया तो उसको जेल में डाल दिया. So, but despite Babulal Marandi being the Pradesh Adhyaksh for the BJP, soon after the assembly results that happened, he's been there at the helm. But will that come into play? Some pollsters believed, who have given a runaway victory for the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and Congress, Access My India, the outlier in this case in Jharkhand, has said that this is what will work, the Maya Yojana and Adivasi Asmita. We'll see how it plays out. It's just about 15 minutes left, less than 15 minutes actually. So let's take you straight to the live result hub. Avantika, good morning. Why the live result hub? Why should we trust the numbers here at CNN News 18? Why should our viewers stay only here and trust only these numbers?
Because this is the most unique place to be, and this is the only place amongst all the channels where we have a team of experts and data analysts who are going to be processing data in real time. A very good morning to you, Anand. This has been such a wonderful election that we have seen, a very, very fierce contest and a very complex one, a very cluttered one given the recent power alignment. And as you can see there, everyone is gearing up now to get those numbers. All of our reporters that are at the counting centers will be getting those numbers, just to get our viewers the most accurate, the most authentic numbers for everyone to see. And most importantly, we've been seeing how every political leader has fought a very bitter fight for power, for prestige, for loyalty, for legacy. It's been a maha battle for political supremacy, not just in Maharashtra, but also in Jharkhand as well. And very quickly, as they say, I've just learned this in Marathi, Konachi Shakti Disel, which means kiska dam dikhega, wo to yahi hi pata lagega in the most accurate and the most authentic way, Anand.
True, absolutely. Let's see, 310 counting centers between Maharashtra and Jharkhand, because Nanded has 3 counting centers together bunched into one. Brajesh Kumar Singh should be joining us in a bit, and we'll try and get to understand why these numbers should be trusted, because our reporters are present at all these counting centers. Once the first rounds are over, once those numbers are over, only and the postal ballots finished, counting has finished, the leads will come in, they'll be clocked and they'll be entered. And as they are entered, that's when you will see it across the screens on the News 18 network. So it's a common number feed across our network channels, and that's why these are the numbers that are most authentic and genuine. Zaka, so this time trust these numbers in
absolutely.
Maharashtra. Yeah.
I think Haryana itself, the picture became clear only by 10:30 or so. Maharashtra is a bigger state, it's 3 times bigger. So I suspect post 11 is when you'll get a clear picture. And of course, because of the multiplicity of parties, there are 6 parties. So if it's going to be a close contest, then the channels that put out numbers at 8:01, I think the Chief Election Commissioner made a mention of that in his press conference. How can you get numbers at 8:01? You won't get numbers here on the News 18 network at 8:01 because it takes time to process these numbers. Then our reporters call up the live result hub, and when they call, that's when we clock in. The other one that's happening is, as you say, it's Farjiwada. What do you say?
Farjiwada.
Yeah, Farjiwada.
So there's no Farjiwada here. Nalin Mehta, Managing Editor, Money Control, is here with us. Money kiske control mein hoga? In Maharashtra and Jharkhand.
Well, you saw what happened to the stock market yesterday.
Yeah.
They were on fire.
Yeah.
And that's partly because the markets were already factoring in a particular result in Maharashtra. So there's a lot riding on the Maharashtra result. And that's more than just the local politics of this. There is the national politics impact of this because if the BJP pulls it through, then it would have reversed pretty much all the reverses it had in 2024 just 3 months ago after Haryana. So there's a lot hanging on that. There's a lot hanging on what this means for brand Rahul Gandhi, for example.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot riding on what it means for brand Yogi, not just for the 9 by-elections in UP, but also because he campaigned a lot in Maharashtra. And the slogan that he gave, which was about Batoge to Katoge, and a sanitized version of that was adopted by the Prime Minister thereafter, if I can put it that way.
Ek hai to safe hai.
Right? So I think for the future of Maharashtra, this election is also very critical for for both the NCP and the Shiv Sena, because historically I think this is where a turning point. See, up till 2014, the BJP had never become the single largest party in Maharashtra. That's the first time it became, right? So last 10 years you've seen 2 elections with the BJP the single largest party, but short of the majority mark. So if it continues that, then you are seeing a tectonic shift, because always Shiv Sena is the biggest party. So for the future of Sharad Pawar, for the future of Uddhav Thackeray, this election is important on all those counts.
No, I mean, if Uddhav Thackeray loses today's election, he loses his party. That's the end of that.
Yes,
he loses the legacy.
But you know, from a national perspective, just like to add to that, because we got into that conversation last night, I think this is replete with implications for the India Bloc. If both these states go towards the NDA, and even Uttar Pradesh, in those 9 seats, there is a bit of a leg up, then 4 constituents of the India Bloc would have had their noses slightly cut down to size.
And they'll blame Congress.
And they will, exactly, and they will blame Congress. Now just imagine Rahul Gandhi standing up as LOP, knowing that his narrative hasn't been able to win over the public. I don't know, the dynamics will change remarkably. Many people have said, is the NDA durable? I think the India Bloc might just have a lot of questions that it might need to answer.
Now, what if, let's say, two narratives. Let's just talk about this a bit in detail. 2 narratives. One, the BJP was able to defend its turf, Haryana, Maharashtra. The other one, the BJP was able to wrest a turf which was with the India Alliance, that's Jharkhand. Now, what if one of these, or if it's split 1-1, let's say the MBA pulls out a surprise rabbit out of the hat and wins Maharashtra, whereas the NDA wins Jharkhand, or vice versa. What happens then?
See, I think for the Congress, if I'm going to talk only about the Congress, for the Congress, a win in Maharashtra is much more important for them than in Jharkhand, because they won, their organization is much stronger in Maharashtra, that's one. They've invested a lot. And you know, we are all talking about Rahul Gandhi. I would also look at the Congress president, because in stark contrast to Rahul Gandhi, Kharge's campaigns were much more aggressive. It became Kharge versus Yogi Adityanath. Kharge speaks Marathi, right? So he's been in charge of Maharashtra. I think that was a conscious strategy. So will the Congress start blaming Kharge? Will they shield Rahul Gandhi by saying he hardly went there? All that is going to happen as a post-mortem later. But for the Congress party, a win in Maharashtra is even more critical than a win in Jharkhand. So even if they win Jharkhand and they lose in Maharashtra, I don't think they're going to be that kicked about it.
And similarly, for the BJP, if I see, Maharashtra is critical, but I think Jharkhand is even more critical, because to win in Jharkhand, what is at stake for the BJP is to assert that no, it is the party for tribals. You know, the parties in power in Chhattisgarh, parties in power in Odisha, where it has reposed faith in tribal chief ministers, same has not happened in Jharkhand, which is in a way the tribal capital of India. So here, if the BJP is not able to win Jharkhand, BJP leaders, Anand, do feel that Jharkhand is going to be more very tight. So if Jharkhand is going to be tight and BJP is not able to make it, that would show that maybe in the tribal population still there are inroads to make, and especially this campaign, which, you know, the entire campaign was built on that we want to protect the tribals from the infiltrators. If that doesn't happen, I think there will be a lot of question marks in the BJP that why, despite so much focus on tribal, especially in adjoining states which we have won, why are we not able to win Jharkhand?
Well, as the results will settle, we'll also try and plot the India map. There's a map that we always put out here at CNN News 18, which plots from 2014 the growth rise of NDA under PM Modi and where they are today. And that's when this will then perhaps become very critical, because if you were to look from the west to the east, ladies and gentlemen, look at, so you'll have Haryana, Gujarat, Maharashtra. Then there is Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, and then also Andhra Pradesh. Now this whole heart of Bharat, it's about 70% of the country's population plus 70% plus, and also bulk of the states. So you would have perhaps an unprecedented strength of the NDA if you were to add the seats in Northeast and also put it all together. They will turn around and say 2024 is an aberration. This is what the reality is. And how critical will that be, Zaka, when it goes into intersession of Parliament?
I think that will be the message that the BJP will go with. If they win Maharashtra, they will say that, look, Haryana reimposed faith again in the Prime Minister. Maharashtra has reimposed faith in the Prime Minister. So the general election where the BJP lost seats, it came down from 303 to 240, was an aberration, because, you know, the opposition went on this negative campaign and all of these lies about reservation being taken away, Samvidhan Khatre mein hai, and all that was an aberration. that India continues to repose faith in Modi. If, on the other side, if the MVA, contrary to what the exit polls have predicted, manages to win Maharashtra, I think it will be hugely important. And in my mind, I'm very, very clear. Maharashtra is the big prize. Whoever wins Maharashtra will have bragging rights today. Jharkhand, with all respect and love for my friends in Jharkhand, Maharashtra is 3 times bigger. It's the richest state in the country. It's the second biggest state in terms of Lok Sabha MPs. The stakes there are much, much higher. And also, may I say, if the Mahayuti wins, then this whole project of this India alliance might actually start unraveling. It's already unraveled in Bengal. Mamata Banerjee doesn't believe in the India alliance. I mean, she didn't give any seats to the Congress. Even in Uttar Pradesh, it'll be on tenterhooks if, let's say, BJP gets 6 out of 9. Akhilesh will suddenly start asking, you know, why should I ally with the Congress? But it's really in Maharashtra. These are unlikely parties. The Shiv Sena, the NCP, the Congress coming together. They've been at loggerheads for the last 30, 40 years. It's only an experiment that happened in the last 2.5 years that has brought these parties together. So if the MVA loses, then this whole experiment of the India alliance will start coming off the
See, RJD rumblings are already there. Aam Aadmi Party is already out of it as far as Delhi is concerned. Then there will be serious rethink which will happen. Like you say, that the entire India alliance will come undone. And what does that imply in parliament then?
Exactly. And also Jharkhand will be seen more as a JMM victory.
Yeah.
You see, and we haven't seen in the Hindi heartland, and correct me if I'm right here, Nalin, the Congress has not been able to win back-to-back state elections in the Hindi heartland, which is also something that is a factor that will weigh in.
So it's not just the Hindi heartland. I think historically, states where the Congress doesn't come back to power for 2 or 3 times, it's never come back, right? So and you can map that across the map. You can plot that across the map of India. Secondly, in the Hindi heartland, see, the Congress revival eventually cannot happen until it revives in at least 1 or 2 big Hindi heartland states. Because even in the past, in the old UPA days, it had Karnataka, it had Andhra, it had Telangana, those regions. So it's lost many of those, right? So and then it had some hold in the north. So while the Lok Sabha election, you know, it was the beginning of a Congress revival, for it to sustain. And the problem with Congress is that, you know, anti-incumbency is unable to get around that, whereas the BJP has been getting over anti-incumbency much more regularly.
As the Prime Minister says, Congress जब हारती है तो कभी वापस नहीं आती है इसी statement. That has been the Prime Minister's pitch also many times.
And there's an important point in this, because fundamentally the Indian voter today is very demanding and is rewarding what it sees as good governance.
But you know, on that point, good governance, you know, this Revdi business, look, it's not as if the BJP is steering very clear of Revdis either.
Ladki Behna is a Revdi.
Exactly. In fact, if you really look at the numbers, and we've done the math, of course it's approximate and I don't want to sort of put out those numbers, but while there is a few thousand crores separating both of them, the cost to the Maharashtra exchequer of all these schemes is going to be just as heavy. In fact, the MVA is slightly outperforming the Mahayuti on it, but that's only because they've upped the stakes on every.
But the critical fact is that how are you able to generate the revenues to pay for these Revdis? You are not running the state bankrupt, and that is something which perhaps the Congress-led governments have not been able to show. Well, it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and counting gets underway, ladies and gentlemen. The counting centers will start opening now. 8 a.m. is when the counting centers open. There will be time before the ballot boxes, the postal ballots, all of that come in and the early leads come in. If any of the screens across any of the news networks is already showing you numbers, then you know what it is. It is Farjiwala. We are not doing that here. We are respecting the requests of the Election Commission and also the point that they made, and we are working with them very closely. Also at the counting centers, 310 counting centers, 285 in Maharashtra, 30 in Jharkhand. Overall, about 310 reporters. There are 29 actually in Jharkhand, so 309 counting centers, but 310 reporters. That's what we have. And they will be directly calling the hotlines from the counting centers as and when the leads come in. And that's why we'll be able to report it slightly faster than the Election Commission, because they have to go through the ratification, formalization process, etc. We don't need to do that. So you will see the numbers. And mark my words and mark our words here. the numbers on all channels will eventually settle to the numbers that we first show here on the News 18 network. So trust these numbers. Counting has gotten underway. The counting centers will open. Avantika is joining us from the live result hub. So now it's buzz of activity. I hope you've got your shoes and you're kicking your heels off, ready to run around that live result hub, Avantika.
Oh, well, Anand, I'm all geared up with the heels as well. This is going to be so exciting. And you're right, there are no fuzzy numbers here, genuine, authentic, reliable numbers, because we have a team of experts, data analysts who are going to be sitting here processing all the data in real time. Just take a look at all these experts here. They're going to be, as you rightly said, reporters are all over at the counting centers, and any first lead, first trend will be immediately reported here. I have Brajesh Ji with me, 285 reporters, that many people we have across the state of Maharashtra and Jharkhand as well. Brajesh Ji, why don't you just tell us a little bit more about, you know, the uniqueness of the live result hub?
Look, this is our 2 decades long legacy, and it is time tested. If you look at the last assembly elections of Haryana, we were the only network who were absolutely perfect. Even at this time also, if you look at our own system, this is the live result hub, a special software. Just look at the screen. There is no number because counting has not started as yet. No figure we have. In fact, all other channels who are showing the numbers, it's absolutely fake, fraud, fuzzy, kite flying. We have the system. If you look at the Election Commission website also, there is no trend. So if anyone is showing any data, any lead, any trend, just believe it is absolutely fake. For our case, in our case, if you look at our system, this is the number of 285 correspondents at each and every counting center we have in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, you have 288 assembly seats, but counting centers are only 285. So we have that absolute deployment to cover each and every center. Same way in Jharkhand. In Jharkhand, we have 24 districts. At each center, we have a district representative. And if any tally, if any round of count, everything will be here.
All those calls will come right here, Anand, because, you know, when it comes to counting and when it comes to getting those numbers right, one can only count on us. Isn't that right, Anand?
Yes, right next to where Brajesh is sitting, right next to the entire team that is sitting. There are 6 groups, 6 hubs for the Maharashtra hub. That's 6 rows of the Maharashtra hub, 2 rows or 3 rows of the Jharkhand hub. That's where the numbers will start coming in, ladies and gentlemen. There is a hotline right next. That's where the report will happen. The moment that is reported, the constituency, the candidate and the lead will be clicked in, and that's when you will start seeing it appear on our screens. Any of the News 18 networks, you will see it's all 0-0 right now. The numbers should come in a short while from now, but the numbers are increasing in our studio. Mr. Hebar joins us, Rohit Chandravarkar joins us. Let's keep the conversation around Maharashtra and Jharkhand even as we wait for the live result hub verified number to come on our screens before we talk about leads. Because as those leads come in here, they will start getting plotted even on Zaka Jacob's magic wall, which is not colored right now. In about 2.5 hours from now, this will be a different plot. And the plot here on this magic wall, Zaka, will perhaps determine kursi kiski hai in Maharashtra.
Absolutely. Will it be a saffron wave? Will it be a blue wave? We don't know. But like I said, to my mind, Maharashtra is the big prize. Whoever wins Maharashtra will have bragging rights. It will set the tone really for the parliament session starting Monday.
Rohit is here. You want to ask him a few questions on Maharashtra? Who's taking that? Number kiske aa raha hai?
Rohit said last time that he was briefed live almost.
Yeah, he was here with us,
he was
wasn't
here.
it?
He
From
was
the
here,
Shinde camp.
From the Shinde. So, aap bataiye, are those numbers holding?
We'll find out in a while, but I think Mahayuti is looking very confident. And I think the reason they are looking confident is because of the direct benefit schemes that they came out with and the increased voting that has happened in Maharashtra, Rahul. So they think that women came out in large numbers, especially in Vidarbha region, Marathwada region, which is economically backward region. And they think that this direct benefit transfer has kind of worked for them in terms of direct, increase in votes. The farmer community, which is facing a lot of distress, perhaps came out too. But for them also, there have been many schemes. So let's see.
I have to ask you this question because yesterday when we were talking to 2 pollsters, and one was Sanjay Kumar of Lokniti, and on the other side was the famous, infamous, what do you want to call him, Access My India, Mr. Gupta. And both had a very different take on Vidarbha. So both projected that the NDA is going to do fantastically well in Vidarbha for different reasons. One said there's going to be complete Dalit and, consolidation against the Maratha. And the other one said, no, it's not going to be that. The Marathas are going to come back and vote for the NDA. So what is going on in Vidarbha? It's very confusing.
I'm not sure Marathas are going to come out and vote for the NDA because Manoj Jarange Patil has been very vocal and he's traveling from town to town, speaking against the BJP.
But they're saying that this time, at least one of them said this time is not a factor.
Okay, we'll find out in a while whether,
Pallavi, you wanted to share something?
I would say it's not a factor, but he
why?
also little...
Tell him why. You were telling us the anecdote, what happened.
No. So Rohit, it was really amazing, because I went to interview him and I saw him, doctors and he on a drip. And, people were taking pictures. And I am telling them, this looks little tacky. No, madam ji, lene do. Then I realized that it was just going viral on WhatsApp. So he is going to his... And then there was this huge crowd. All their sympathy. So somewhere thoda sa wo bhi janta hai na, unnerving moment hai because he knows this is a prestige thing for him. But, people are also in harsh tones were talking about the fact that, we don't know which way he is. He's not even, he's taking money from so-and-so, he's taking money from everyone, he's nobody's person. Now, if that is word of mouth, I mean, Antarwali Sarathi is the village he belongs to. And, if that is what starts getting traction, then I don't know whether he's going to emerge as that powerful a factor as he was for.
Well, he may not emerge as a powerful factor, but remember there's going to be very small margin. I don't know. I'm not claiming anything right now. Maybe situation keeps changing all the time. But the situation is that Maratha vote may not get split the way it would have got split if Jarange Patil was in the fray, which he has kind of withdrawn from. That is one factor. The other thing, of course, is the women coming out in large numbers, like I said earlier, is a big factor in favor of NDA. Shinde's team, what Rahul was talking about some time back, Shinde's team is very confident that they're going to reach 170. NDA is going to reach 170, and they also have given a breakup to some of our friends and colleagues at the end of the voting day. They say BJP will hit about 95 score. Shinde himself will be around 55 and Ajit Pawar will be 20. So they are saying 170 for sure, sounding very confident. We'll find out just
95 plus 50 वो तो 150 तो उनके खुद के आगे इन दोनों के तो फिर वो टेंशन ब्रीथ इजी वाला हो गया अजीत पवार फैक्टर नहीं होगा फिर.
Number is quite fantastic because if that number actually holds up, that means that Shinde Shiv Sena would have got 56 what the Shiv Sena won last time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He replaced that.
So
If that number holds.
Is Milind Deora then going to be the giant killer?
First lead has come through. It's going to the NDA. I think it's to the Shinde Sena. This is Ambegaon, Dilip Walse Patil.
दो आ गए भाई, दो आ गए. Grid पे दो आ गए, दो lead, one others and one NDA.
The second one is coming from the constituency of Ganga Khed. This is going to the RSP. I think this is the RSP faction which is with the NDA. So yeah, you have two leads now. One in okay, you now have a third lead. This is going again to the UBT, to the SSUBT, the Parbhani constituency. Dr. Rahul Patil is leading there. So we have three leads now. One to the NDA, one to the India Alliance, and one to others. I'm just trying to see. I think the RSP. This is the faction that's not aligned with the NDA. So
NDA, so we just see why there is a lead for Maharashtra that is being shown for the NCP in the bottom grid, while there are three leads there, and there is one lead that's being shown for the NCP. But overall, three leads have come in.
Sorry, Dilip Walse Patil is from the NCP.
Dilip Walse Patil is from the NCP.
The Ambegaon seat.
So the Ambegaon seat, so NDA one lead for the NCP, so and one lead others. So three leads that have come in. Those are the party breakups. Understand that here at the bottom of the screen you have overall NDA, that's the Mahayuti, BJP, Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde, NCP Ajit Pawar, and then you have the India Alliance here. So INDIA, the overall alliance number, you can find it here. Then you have Congress, Shiv Sena, UBT and NCP Sharad Pawar.
From Bhandara, Narendra Bhondekar of the Shiv Sena, the Shinde Sena, he's leading. I think Bhandara Gondia is Mr. Patole's backyard. That's where he hails from. So we now have 4 seats reporting, 2 to the NDA, 1 to the India
So
Alliance.
2 to the NDA, 1 to India Alliance, 1 others, and we've just got some breaking news. Let's quickly do that as we look at the counting leads again. Posters are out by various factions ahead of the result. Eknath Shinde as CM poster in Thane. Uddhav as CM outside Matoshri. Yes, Mayuresh. We'll see if Yesha is also there. Yes, Mayuresh.
Absolutely, Anand. Behind me you can see this poster which clearly says that Kutumba Pramukh Honar Puna Mukhyamantri, which means that if you remember that Uddhav Thackeray was usually says that he is a Kutumba Pramukh, he is a family head of Maharashtra, and the poster also says that he will be made CM again. As we were discussing that somewhere Mahavikas Aghadi is confident. Sanjay Raut also said that they will win seats between 160 to 170 and form the government before 26. And this kind of poster has been already put up just 100 meters away from the Matoshri in Bandra East. And we are seeing that the party workers of all parties have basically put up.
There is a picture outside Matoshri for Uddhav Thackeray. There are pictures for Eknath Shinde in Thane. There you go. And the numbers so far are looking at for the NDA early leads. 4 leads for the NDA. Zaka.
So Dhananjay Munde is also leading from Parli. He's of course fighting with the Ajit Pawar faction. So Ajit Pawar not doing badly. Out of the 4 leads, 3 that we have are for the Ajit Pawar faction of the NCP.
So numbers, 3 leads for the NCP, 1 lead for Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde, 4 for NDA, 1 for the INDI, that is Shiv Sena, Uddhav Balasaheb Thakeray's team that is leading, 1 other is there. To the panel here, legacy fight, 51 seats. If Eknath Shinde gets 55 seats, that conversation that we are doing, that means Uddhav Thackeray Sahab, Dhanush Baan
As I'm saying, this is a crucial survival battle for at least 3 of these parties. Let's be very honest. They will cease to exist if they do very badly. So, there's a lot at stake.
This is a political field which has been extremely fragmented. There's been a lot of opportunistic toing and froing. Ideology has gone out of the window. Convenience has come in through the door. And what this will also do is kind of settle the Hindutva question as well, because Balasaheb Thackeray was the Hindu Hriday Samrat, the original one. And there are 2 factions of the Shiv Sena there. And the battle for authenticity is on. So the BJP is very much invested in the Shiv Sena battle for their own ideological reasons. I think it will also decide on who has the real Hindutva in their tower.
Well, 6 leads as we speak.
Yeah, we have 1 lead for the NCP, Sharad Pawar from the outskirts of Pune in Pimpri. Dr. Sulakshana Shilwant is leading in the Pune seat. We have 1 more for NCP SP, that's Parner Rani Lanke of the NCP SP is leading. So right now it seems like at least the first lead for the BJP. The first lead for the BJP is again from Vidarbh, from Melghat, Keval Ram Kale of the BJP is leading. So it's running up now for the NDA, 6 to the NDA, 3 to the India Alliance. Congress has not opened its account yet. We will see how that happens and when that happens. From Akot, the VBA candidate, the Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi, the VBA, Prakash Ambedkar's candidate is leading in 1 seat there in Vidarbh. So we have 11 seats, 6 to the NDA, 3 to the India Alliance, 2 already to the others. And Rohit was mentioning this, none of the exit polls gave too much to the others. Let's see, already within
BJP ka second lead bhi aa gaya, 7 NDA.
All right.
It will get refreshed on the wall it takes about 15 seconds. Jharkhand counting numbers have not yet started coming in. They should come in very, very soon. But 732, that's the number. Others are also now featuring on the leaderboard. Will that be a huge factor? A lot of pollsters have not given others those many numbers. Nalin, Aman.
See, Anand, one figure I have from the BJP, which adding on to what Rohit was saying, more women voters. BJP is saying that 53 lakh more women have voted in these elections compared to 2019. That's a huge number. In the 2019 election, about 2.53 crore women had voted at 59.26% vote. This time, 3.06 crore women voters, 65% voting percentage, a higher woman voting, 53 lakh more women, I think.
तो फिर जो फंडे आप महाराष्ट्र में लगा रहे हो वो झारखंड में जेएमएम कांग्रेस को जाना चाहिए.
Absolutely, हो सकता है,
तो उनका भी रनअवे.
So we have two Mumbai seats now reporting, 3 in fact Mumbai seats reporting. Vile Parle, BJP candidate Alvani Parag is leading there in Atul Bhatkalkar is leading from Kandivli East. Shiv Sena UBT is also opened from Kalina. Sanjay Potnis of the Shiv Sena UBT has opened his account there. So Mumbai seats are also now reporting. Out of 16, 8, 6 and 2.
Yeah, INDIA Alliance catching up. Now it is 8, 6 and 2. Neck and neck fight hoga ya dheere dheere lead kholegi. Rahul Shivshankar.
Lokniti actually gave 20% of the vote share, approximately that much to the others. Now that's a significant vote share. So look, I mean, and yesterday we were getting news that everyone was also speaking to the independents and all of that. So it's all happening. Let's not discount anything.
More Mumbai seats. The Mumbadevi seat, Amin Patel, he's up against China NC. Amin Patel is leading in the Mumbadevi seat. And in Kolaba, as you'd expect, Rahul Narvekar, who was the speaker, he's leading in the Kolaba seat. So in Mumbai, now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seats reporting. The BJP has 3, SSUBT has 1, and Congress leading in 1.
So now BJP slowly opening up the leads. 5 leads for the BJP, 4 for the NCP, Ajit Pawar, 10 for the NDA, 6 for the INDIA alliance. So the leaderboard is right at the top. You can see the overall leaderboard and also the breakup of the parties. So this is Mahayuti, this is Mahavikas Agadi, and then this is Jharkhand, ladies and gentlemen. So the Jharkhand numbers have not yet started coming, but Maharashtra numbers are coming here. Maharashtra numbers are right at the top. 10, 6 and 2. Overall, the parties, who is performing well, because these strike rates will matter, Rahul. Strike rates for each individual group will matter because that will also give them the heft, bargaining power.
That's right. I mean, this is looking tight. I mean, very initial, but as the leads are sort of clocking up on both sides, aren't they? It's not as if there's just a one side, you know, taking. If 170 is on the cards, as someone was saying, then that number is not looking very positive. Let's just put it that way. But this is very early days, very early days.
One in Western Maharashtra in a seat called Ashti. Suresh Das of the BJP is leading. NCP Ajit Pawar, like I said, again, one more seat reporting from Western Maharashtra in Shevgaon. Monica Rajiv Rajale of the BJP is leading. So in Western Maharashtra, which is of course the fight between the NCP versus NCP, BJP has opened up 2. Like I said, NCP Ajit Pawar opening up leads in about 4 constituencies already. So that's the situation as of now.
They're putting up posters for Ajit Pawar in Pune. In Thane, it is Eknath Shinde. In Mumbai, there it is Matushree. And of course, there is Devendra Fadnavis, who's sitting there at Meghdut, perhaps right now, right next to his Sagar residence. He's sitting there and he's watching what is going on.
Rohit Pawar